Barcelona's victory over Celta Vigo on a night when Xavi's bitter taste. Barcelona beat Celta Vigo 3-1 at the Camp Nou on the night Ronaldo Arejo suffered a concussion, giving them all 3 points. Barcelona went against Celta Vigo in the 36th week of La Liga competition and finally managed to defeat this team with a result of 3-1 at the Nou Camp Stadium. Barca won the Champions League last season with a victory over Real Betis last week, and the game was more of a formality for Barca, with the Blues and Pomegranates beating Celta Vigo. Barcelona had not beaten Celta in 3 games, and now this spell has been broken by Xavi. Arejo's injury and concussion, which resulted in the presence of an ambulance on the grass of the Camp Nou and his transfer to the hospital, was something that made Xavi XAM bitter in this game. Ambulance at the Nou Camp, the Barcelona defender suffered a concussion. The match between Barcelona and Celta Vigo was an accident for Barca and caused a severe injury to one of the Barcelona players in the head. In the 62nd minute of the game against Celta Vigo, Barcelona's Uruguayan defender Ronaldo Arejo jumped into the air at the same time as his cowboy, trying to hit his head, and finally fell head over heels with him. A few seconds later, while Arejo was away from the scene and there seemed to be no problem, he suddenly fell to the ground and fainted. This incident raised concerns, and so the ambulance entered the grass of the Nou Camp Stadium, took Arejo out, and Xavi replaced him with Clement Langley. Barcelona have now announced that Ronaldo Arejo has suffered a concussion and has been taken by ambulance to hospital for treatment. Arejo is currently hospitalized. Of course, he has regained consciousness and has moved away from the initial conditions of the collision, and now the relevant tests and experiments are being taken from him to determine his general condition. Maintain Liverpool pressure on City by comebacking against Gerrard. Liverpool won an away match against Aston Villa 2-1 to maintain their hopes of winning the Premier League. On Tuesday night at 23:30 Tehran time, the teams of Aston Villa and Liverpool lined up against each other in Villa Park Stadium within the framework of the 33rd week of the English Premier League. Liverpool's Reds were halted 1-0 in their last game against Tottenham Hotspur to close the gap on Manchester City to 3 points, and the club knew they had to win against Steven Gerrard to maintain their title hopes. In the first half, we saw an interesting game. In the 3rd minute, Aston Villa's Brazilian midfielder Douglas Luiz opened the scoring for Alisson Becker very quickly, but the hosts' happiness lasted only 3 minutes and Joel Matip scored the equalizer to get the Reds out of shock very quickly. Both teams had good chances to score the second goal, but the first half ended in a 1-1 draw. Rising verbal war between the club and Conte. Tottenham Hotspur's Italian coach Antonio Conte has reacted to Jurgen Klopp's recent remarks by acknowledging that the German's Liverpool manager is looking for an excuse for his team's poor performance at Anfield. Last week the teams of Liverpool and Tottenham lined up against each other from the 34th week of the English Premier League in Anfield, and in the end, the two teams agreed to a 1-1 draw. The result put the Reds slightly behind Manchester City in the title race, and Jurgen Klopp criticized the style of play of Tottenham and Antonio Conte at the post-match conference. Marca claims, the transfer of the Chelsea star to Real Madrid is finalized. Chelsea's German star Antonio Rudiger will leave for Real Madrid for free at the end of the season, but the news of this transfer will not be published until after the Champions League final. Rudiger's contract with the London Blues expires in June, and Chelsea's officials were unable to persuade him to extend his contract, and the club's head coach Thomas Tuchel confirmed last week that Rudiger has no plans to extend his contract at the end of the season. Stamford Bridge will go. Months after Chelsea's delay in negotiations with Rudiger, Real Madrid took the opportunity to contact the defender's agent to sign him for free for next season, and now all Madrid magazines and sources close to him. To Real, they are sure of this transfer. He is said to have successfully passed medical tests on Tuesday and signed a contract until 2026. Messi was not going to join Paris Saint-Germain. Paris Saint-Germain's Argentine midfielder Leandro Paredes has revealed that 7-time Ballon d'Or winner wanted to extend his contract with Barcelona until a few days before Lionel Messi joined the French club. Last summer, Lionel Messi, After 17 years of pride in the blue uniform of the Pomegranates, could not renew his contract due to the poor financial situation of the club and left for Paris Saint-Germain for free. According to the GOL website, before Messi left Barca, the media published a photo of him with several Paris Saint-Germain players in Ibiza, which strengthened the rumors of his departure from Barca. Now Paredes, who was one of the people in the photo, claims that he wanted to extend his contract with Barca. We saw him in Ibiza the day before and he wanted to go back to Barcelona to extend his contract. We insisted he come to Piazzi, but Messi told us that everything was in order, he told Tike Sports. And he wants to continue playing football in Barcelona. Then I do not know what happened on his trip to Barcelona, but the same night he told us he wanted to stay at the Camp Nou. He told us he was coming to Paris and at first we did not believe him at all. Then I told him I would not believe it until I saw you in a Parisian German dress. The club's reaction to the Netherlands joining Manchester City. Liverpool boss Jurgen Klopp believes that the transfer of Erling Haaland from Borussia Dortmund to Manchester City will set new standards in football. After months of various rumors, Erling Haaland has finally chosen his new team and will play for Manchester City and Pep Guardiola next season. The 21-year-old star has scored 21 goals in 23 games for the Bees this season, attracting the attention of many major European clubs such as Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Barcelona, and Liverpool. Also bring 64 million to terminate the contract, bring the Netherlands to Manchester. According to Metro, Jurgen Klopp has had a special and intense rivalry with City and Pep since his time in Liverpool. I have already extended my contract with the knowledge that City's progress will not stop. So it has nothing to do with City and we can decide our own destiny, he said, having recently extended his contract with Liverpool. To determine. Messi against Ronaldo, accepted the offer of the Saudi government. Lionel Messi, the Argentine star of PSG, has taken the opportunity of his short vacation and traveled to Saudi Arabia. A recreational trip to the Middle East may seem like a normal occurrence to footballers, but the point is that, as mentioned in Messi's hashtag, this trip is purely promotional and in line with the Saudi government's policies to promote tourism in this country. Messi wrote in the description of his post, "Getting acquainted with the Red Sea. Hashtag visit Saudi Arabia." In fact, the Saudi government is trying to increase the number of its tourists by 2030, based on its propaganda plan. In 2019, The Telegraph reported that Cristiano had turned down an offer of €6 million a year to support the Saudi government. In fact, Ronaldo believes that the Saudi government does not respect human rights and therefore refused to accept their offer. But it seems that Messi had a different opinion and that is why he decided to cooperate with the Saudi government. It is not clear what Leo received from the Saudis, but it seems that Leo received the same amount or more than Ronaldo offered. Erling Haaland joined Manchester City. Manchester City announced in a statement that the transfer of Norwegian striker Dortmund Erling Haaland has been agreed. Erling Haaland has officially joined Manchester City. The English club announced that they have reached an agreement with Dortmund and are trying to finalize the last details and reach an agreement with the Norwegian player. Manchester City thus paid Dortmund €75 million release clause to Dortmund and added the Norwegian striker to their squad. The Netherlands have also attracted the attention of other clubs such as Bayern Munich, PSG, Real Madrid, and Barcelona, but he eventually decided to move to Manchester City and play for a team that his father Alfing once played for. The return of the most expensive player in the history of Real Madrid after surgery. Eden Hazard is the most expensive player in the history of Real Madrid, which cost him around €140 million to buy him. Hazard failed to meet expectations 3 years after his transfer to Real Madrid. The player's numerous injuries have prevented him from playing much for Real, and Ancelotti has not given him much of a chance this season. Hazard took the opportunity to sit on the bench and decided to remove the plaque that had been placed on his leg during surgery during his time at Chelsea. As a result, Eden has been sidelined in recent months and was expected to feature in the final weeks of the season. Real Madrid is afraid of Barcelona. Former Arsenal and Barcelona striker Thierry Henry compares the current facts between Blaugrana and Real Madrid. Thierry Henry left Arsenal in 2007 and joined Barcelona in a tumultuous transfer, scoring 35 goals in 80 appearances for the club due to tensions and differences between them and Real Madrid. Is aware. Los Blancos has undergone a complete transformation this season under Carlo Ancelotti and managed to do great things last week. Real celebrated their 35th La Liga title after a 4-0 victory over Espanyol, and on Wednesday they played Liverpool against Manchester City in the Champions League final. All European clubs are afraid of Real Madrid, but Real Madrid is also afraid of one team, and that is Barcelona, Thierry Henry was quoted as saying by CBS Sports. Manchester City's performance in the Champions League over the last 10 seasons.